Okay, that was really interesting to hear already sort of your first initial ideas about what you want to try to do within the hackathon, because it all is, of course, about how can we repurpose and use these cultural heritage materials in new applications or concepts. So I'm going to try to give you some ideas about the content that will be available for you during the hackathon. Yeah, you'll see. So this is the institution that I work at. It's Sound and Vision. It's located at the Media Park in Hilversum. This is the heart where all the major public and commercial broadcasters are located. So we're an archive of mainly public broadcasting material, TV and radio. We also have a photography collection. So I work at the Research and Development departments, and we're involved in several European funded projects, also national projects, where we try to repurpose the cultural heritage that we have in our archive in new innovative ways. And we have a collection of almost 1 million hours of material in our archive. So I'll highlight 3 of the content partners that we have within our project who are willing to share their content. So that's the Netherlands Institute for Sound and Vision in the Netherlands, the Rundfunk Berlin-Brandenburg, which is in Germany, Istituto Luce Cinecittà, which is in Italy, and of course Europeana, but I'll come to that later. So Sound and Vision, I'll start with this content provider. So like I just say, we're the National Audiovisual Archive of the Netherlands. We will provide 2 collections that you can play with. Actually, I'm going to expand it to 3, while I'll just discuss it with my colleague that we can actually provide another collection as well for you to use. So firstly, the Open Images collection. We have an open culture data search. And also want to provide the Sounds of the Netherlands collection, which is a collection of our archival sounds, because someone already mentioned sounds, so I thought it would be interesting as well to provide that. Both collections will be available during and after the hackathon because they're openly licensed. So to start with the Open Images collection, this gives access to over 4,000 videos that are licensed under public domain or Creative Commons by SA license. The collection contains newsreels from the Polygoon collection and several other films on the Netherlands in the 20th century. It contains historical news events with topics such as art, culture, transportation, health and healthcare, nature, politics, sports, fashion and pets. And of course I couldn't resist including a video of 2 cats boxing. It's a really fabulous video, you can look it up later. Other providers to the Open Images platform are the VPRO actually, the iFilm Institute, University of Amsterdam, and you can easily download the videos from the site and share it as well. And it's also accessible via the Open Images API. So for topic inspiration, we have a page on the Open Images platform which shows you the tags. So we've tagged all the videos that are available, so it's a bit more easy for you to see what kind of subjects are available in our collection. Recently we've also posted this article on the Public Domain Review website. So in case if you're interested in some weird videos on curiosity. So this is an article about strange contests within the Netherlands, such as an ostrich race or a smoking contest. So if you want to search for these weird videos, you can look under the tag curiosity. Then I'd like to show you, just give you a glimpse of what we have in our collection. This is a video about the first beeldtelefoon. It is in Dutch, but I think it will give you a good idea about. It's from 1974.
In beeld en geluid met elkaar kunnen communiceren.
Zou je wel even moeten inbrengen? Ja, maar dat wordt niet doen. Ja, ik had iets aangegeven dat kaartje willen laten zien.
Er kan ook visuele informatie worden overgebracht. Via een kleine spiegel wordt het beeld dan op de camera
Dus op dit moment op het natuurkundig laboratorium een van de 15 aansluitingen. in de telecommunicatieindustrie in Hilversum. Bij de centrale directie van de PVT.
Zodra de spiegel wordt ingeklapt, wordt automatisch weer een deel van het spreken zicht.
Quite innovative, right, for 1974? It's basically an early version of FaceTime, I'd say. Just phoning. I don't think it ever made it to the market, though. Right, so, and in the past, Sound and Vision have already organized several competitions and hackathons where we offered our open images collection. And this is just one of the examples of what can be done with our videos. So this is Vistory. It's one of the winners of the Apps for the Netherlands competition. They used our videos and put them into a location-based application where you could see, for instance, the Rijksmuseum on the spot where you were standing. So the second data set is Open Culture Data Search. This is a search engine built by the Open State Foundation, used to search through all the data in the Open Culture Data API or Open Cultuurdata API. It has content from ranging from images, sounds and videos from various Dutch cultural institutions. And they're all provided under an open license, so you're free to use them. This includes also our collection from the Open Images platform, but also the Rijksmuseum, the Tropenmuseum, Amsterdam Museum, and the Museum of Rotterdam. Right, so then I go to the second content partner in the project, which is RBB. They're a regional public broadcaster for Berlin and Brandenburg. And they will provide 500 videos for the hackathon on the topic of the Berlin Wall, 250 in English and 250 in German. And these videos will be accessible and usable for test and demonstration purposes at the hackathon event, as well as the pre-event. And they'll be available via NoTrix Springfield platform, but I'm sure Daniel can say a few more words about that. So RBB has made use of these videos in the HBBTV-based video dossier, The Berlin Wall. It presents this material in a realistic broadcast use case. It contains videos about the building of the Berlin Wall from its construction in 1961 up to the reunification of Germany in 1990. And the application is on air on the RBB TV channel, and it's available on HBB TV devices connected with the internet. And RBB viewers were able to participate in the broadcast by using the Fall of the Wall app, available on any HBB TV compatible television set. And this app enabled viewers to comment and participate on an on-screen discussion with other viewers. So actually during the broadcast of this thing. And we also have this one installed here. So when you have time during the drinks, you can actually explore this application on this device here. So yeah, this is just another example of the videos that were used that were also geolocated. Then the third content provider is the Italian one, Cinecittà Luce. They're an Italian historical film and photo archive. And they will provide two collections, one via EuScreen and also one via the YouTube channel that they have. The EuScreen collection is made out of 2,800 video items that will be extended within the next 12 months to 4,000 items. And they come from more recent newsreels and documentaries collection of the institution, ranging from the 1950s to the 1980s. And the metadata for this collection is available in both Italian and English. And in addition to the EuScreen collection, they will provide content from collections available on their YouTube channel. And this video material ranges from the 1920s to the 1970s, and that quantifies in about 30,000 clips of newsreels. But only this collection is only available with Italian metadata in YouTube, so probably less rich information than the EuScreen one. Then we come to Europeana. I'm curious to see here how many of you have actually used or know of Europeana, and how many of you is completely oblivious and doesn't know who it is, what it is about. Okay, a few, that's fine. So yeah, Europeana is actually Europe's portal to cultural heritage. They provide access to over 40 million cultural heritage items, ranging from text, videos, and sounds and images from over 2,600 institutions across Europe. So it's quite a lot of information, and it's quite difficult to really find what you're looking for if you're building, for instance, an application. But you can actually, if you do a search, you can actually also filter on just video content or on the right status. So that's already quite a quite useful way to search through the content. But if you are looking for content that's already under an open license, so either public domain or Creative Commons, I suggest you'd have a look at the Europeana Labs portal. This is the site that James is responsible for, so please go to him if you have further questions about that portal, of course. But this provides access to about 70 data sets. They've been selected and uploaded on the portal. You can have direct access to it via the API, or you can just go to the portal and browse through the collections. There's a short description, and there's tags as well about the subject of these data sets. So I really advise you to just have a look there. Maybe you're inspired by a topic, or that is on the left-hand side. There's the topics tags list. And then, of course, there's the Europeana API. So this is more for the technical or developers amongst us that might want to use the Europeana dataset. The entire dataset, actually, the metadata itself is freely licensed as well. It's under a CC0 license. So you're free to use all of the 40 million items in your applications, just the metadata. The digital objects, that's another story. Then you really have to go to Europeana Labs to be sure that you can actually use all of that. Right. If there's further questions, I think there's room during our drink session to ask me or my colleagues as well if you have any questions about the content. Thank you for listening. Magic.
Waar heb je liever mee gaan laten? Ja, die heb je hier rechts gelaten.
Deze.
Oké.
Ik moet nog echt een soort presentation.
So always if you give a presentation, you lose at least like a lot of IQ points. So, but let me tell you a little bit about the technology in 10 minutes, which will be extremely short. So, I guess the first thing to say is don't panic. And no questions simply because we have a lot of time later to talk, and I would urge you to do so, either now or over another communication channel, because that's our goal in next month, to try to take all your questions and give you a feeling that this is going to work for you. But for now, most important thing is don't panic. Just to recap what's already been said, I think it would be interesting and fun to really build something, and we will try to help you, even if you're not a developer, to at least implement one feature or one part of your program. But keep in mind, especially also for the next phase, that the idea is way more important, and you can also work with mock-ups or you can work with wireframes. So don't get focused on one detail, although we will try to help you implement some of this stuff. And we know that the VPROs all here, they're also very good programmers. I know I used to run that technical department, so anyway. So if you have your own tools or even your own content, you want to use content you uploaded on YouTube, or you already have it in HTML5 somehow playable, you can of course use that. We will provide one platform. There's in fact also a second and maybe even a third platform that we will bring in. We will communicate it with you in the next few weeks. But there's one called VBot, which is from another partner, and they will also explain how that one works. As an example, I will just talk about ours, simply because I think there's some important points that we can make about how to approach the next month. So this is basically more about the next month than at the hackathon itself. So what we will do is, our platform itself, we allow for multi-screen and multi-devices. Do people know what we mean with that? So basically allow you to use both EuropeanaTV, which is smart television sort of solution, your mobile devices and your desktop devices, and somehow mix that up. So any sort of format that we can figure out, we can try to play around with. We have to use, or we can use the Europeana content. We will try to also help you there. There are several interfaces that make it easy to hook it up. So we already prepared some ways for you to reuse the content from Europeana. So for example, let's say you have a video about a certain topic. We made it really easy that you can query Europeana and get all the related pictures from that topic, for example. Right? And the third thing which is important is that you try to prepare, let's say, your environment before the hackathon starts. So what we will bring in, again as an example, is two platforms. The first one is called Springfield. You already heard it. It's like a big CMS system. And it allows you, so it's basically, that's not sure if people can decode that because we can't use the real picture. It's called Springfield because all the servers inside have names of the Simpsons characters. And then the picture maybe makes a little bit more sense. So we have all kinds of services that do transcoding and storage of video, streaming of video. Forget about this all, not important. But we will help you to access that. The second part is much more interesting. It's a multi-screen toolkit for the Simpsons people. It's called Eddie and Lou, which are the two traffic cops in the Simpsons. That allows us to make applications that you can program in HTML5, but they will work on multiple screens. So, for example, you can make an application that's partly running on a smart TV, partly on your mobile browser, and they can interact. So, this is the GitHub page. Now, my biggest warning today is don't try to install it. Because A, you will fail, and it's basically a pity of your time. So at the moment, it's about 430,000 lines of code. Good luck installing it. That's not the way that we want to approach it. Our goal is before the event starts, again, if you're a developer or there's a developer in your group, to try to get you to the level that you don't have to waste any time during the hackathon to install it. So what we will do for you, we will set up, I guess everybody knows Amazon, right? And lots of software runs on Amazon. So what we will do, we will set up a machine for you on the Amazon cloud and install the whole platform for you, right? We will give you access to it, accounts, and a way that you can program it. Who here knows something which is called Eclipse? I'm pretty sure that you guys know it. So there's a programming environment, and it's the most used one. We will also help you already before the hackathon setting it up. So the whole goal is to get to the level what we call a Hello World program, so that before the event even starts, you can already start writing code without wasting a daytime setting up your environment. And I'm pretty sure all developers here will agree with me that's normally lots of waste of your time. So that's our goal. So that's we want to, and I'm using our software as an example. I would strongly advise to try to get to the same level if you want to use your own software, or if you want to use the VBot platform which Proton Labs will bring in, or any other tool that you want to use. Now, of course, we will advise mostly on this, but if there's other, if we can help, we will try to help. But I will strongly advise to already prepare, that you don't lose time setting up your environment when you're here, and that you can actually work on making at least one little feature out of your idea. So just to give you an idea, because I can sort of guess that I say if it's 430,000 lines of code, that is really difficult. So for the developers, I put the Hello World example here. It's, as you can see, quite short. So forget about the whole 340,000 lines. It's about getting you to a level that you can actually start programming. So this line of code, in fact, I put two versions there. The first one, you set content on the default output Hello World. Guess what? It says Hello World on your screen. Or you can even do it in sort of what we call a scripting language, where you can say, well, on the current screen, on your div1, so for the HTML5 people, the div called div1, put the word Hello World, right? Again, I'm not trying to explain the code here. I'm just taking the fear away that it's going to be like hundreds of lines of code. The idea is to make it simple. So this is already my last slide, so that's good, because I only have a few minutes. Now, what our goal is from Notrix point of view, and maybe Peter, which is behind the camera at the moment, David, Bart, and me, we can answer questions about all kinds of technology that we want to use or what you're worried about. So please ask us in the rest of the night, if need be late. ask us questions and we will try to answer as best as I can. So what the goal for us is, and that's what we will try to do, if we will try to set up both on Skype, we will be available. This is all in your package, by the way. Please talk to us. Explain, especially if you get further along with your idea, talk to us and we will try to get you to this level and support you in the next month, either over Skype or even if there's a large group who want to come together, we might organize a second meeting to help you along if you want to use our toolkit or if you want to do something else. So that's basically the only few minutes I want to spend. We also made a URL. We might put it in a different place, but we will communicate it to you. Where we opened up a Google Doc and everybody can edit, so please don't make a mess out of it. But please put your questions there. We will put the videos, for example, that we made here and other information, we'll put it on there so that we have an open communication channel. So please talk to us, even if you're not a developer, because I think one of the roles that we can play during the hackathon, which is especially important for later phases, we can probably tell you if it can be built at all, right? So if you have an idea and you go like, well, I want to have flying unicorns, we might sort of tell you that is not possible, right? So just talking, yeah, he's from the sales department. No, but you can see, please, because you can only do so much during a hackathon to build something, right? So having a mock-up and having a valid idea and knowing and talking to a developer if it's possible to build and maybe even they can give you a hint how more difficult it will be is already very useful information, I think. So this is basically my talk. So what we will do, if you already know now or later, we will please communicate with us, tell us, and we will try to get you to the level either with your own software or with our software, to the level that when you get here in May, that you basically get to the level. So the first thing I want to do is that you get, if you get here, that if you change hello world, which most developers do, they put like 2 question marks or 2, what do you call these things? Exclamation points there, and then recompile, and then see it again. Now the trick with our toolkit, we build a lot of tools in to do version control. So if you basically do that and you compile, within a few seconds it will already be available on the Amazon cloud, so it's a really short cycle so that you can do a lot of work. That's what we worked on. So that's our aim, getting you to the hello world exclamation mark 2 version, right? So
okay, then we have time to have some drinks or more drinks if you already studied, and talk among